Right, welcome back. I just wanted to show this figure, and a big shout out to Sven for sending me this body to have a look at. I wasn't sure about these Phicen bodies. I see the videos and I was thinking about buying the M33, and he had this one that you can see the review up on his channel. I'll put a link up to that. I think he's also got the M32, the Asian body, but they've brought out a few. This is the M30, and they had the M31, the M32 is like, M31 is like a slimmer version of this, but I think the skin tone's similar or maybe slightly darker. There's lots of videos out there showing them all compared side by side. But you've got the M32 is the more Asian slim type, and then you've got the M33, which is the one I was more inclined to get for Rambo, Rocky type figure. And I think I still will get one now. Now I've seen this, these bodies are excellent. These are really good. And KG Hobby at the moment, I think if you buy through eBay, are doing the M33 for about £65 delivered to Europe. So I don't think you're going to get a better deal than that. I just want to. So you've got the M34 as well, which is the new body, the latest one that they've brought out, and everyone's using that for their Dutch from Predator figures and Bane, but I think he looks a little bit too big for the Bane figure, and a lot of the Hot Toys clothing looks a bit tight for Bane. I'd go with the M33 personally, but it's all personal preference really. This is the Hot Toys Rocky 4 clothing, and here's the figure. As you can see, the technology has moved on quite a bit. With the Hot Toys figure, you've got the a bendy wire in the elbows, and you've got like ratcheted shoulders. Still a sturdy figure, and I know a lot of people have problems with their Rambo 2 figures, like a more pinky rubber. But I've not had any problems with the First Blood figures or the Rocky figures. This one's been posed like this for years. Change it up now and again, and it's got no cracks. It's got rubber legs and just normal legs underneath these, like rubber sleeves. And then you can see it's got a double butt there. So if you wanted to use this for a clothed lower half, you could take these legs off, and you can pick these legs up off eBay. But anyway, that's besides the point. This body is not totally accurate for Rocky. The musculature is very good, but the posing options are limited. I mean, these shoulders do lift up pretty far, but it gets pretty distorted around here and up here when you lift this up too far. Skin tone on this one's better match for the head sculpt. You can probably see there. Whereas this one, the M30, is pale. It's paler. It's not major problem. I mean, I was thinking of maybe applying paint or some weathering powders that might damage the silicone. I'm not sure. So I'm still undecided about that, but I might just leave this one and use it for something else. I'm not sure. I might take a gamble and try change the colouring, but it's a really good figure. I have to say again, thanks to Sven, because I probably was thinking about getting one of these for a good few years, and or whenever they come out, I was thinking about it, upgrading the body of my Rocky figures and possibly some Rambo customs, but it's very expensive and it's a bit of a gamble. And to be honest, I'm unless you're very committed to the project that you want to do, I say with a Rambo figure where he's going to be having like combat trousers, pardon me, that will stain the figure, I reckon, the dye in the fabric, so over time that will probably stain the clothing. So it seems a shame to, I mean, it'd be good if Phicen done like this sort of thing, half and half. Forget the rubber legs, you've just got normal legs under there. That would be good for a lot of projects where you've just got the arms on show, or some of the chest, or you know, you want that you want a rubber body, but you want, well, a silicone body, but you want more articulation. This body is excellent for the articulation. I mean, I'll show you it in a second. I just want to show you this pose because it's pretty cool. Shows you some of what the figure can do. I mean, I've got it on a stand, and the reason I have got it on a stand is because I'll just remove this, and you can see like the rubber comes to the edge of the peg to give like a seamless joint. So here's one of the original hands. You pop that on there. I'll just do it quickly. I mean, they come on and off pretty easy. Got to be careful not to put too much pressure on here, because the metal, you can feel the metal skeleton underneath. That might, if you're a bit too heavy-handed, you could, I think it's got a ball joint on there, but you could still tear the silicone if you're a bit rough with it. So anyway, the rubber comes right to the end of the peg, so you've got that nice seamless joint there. Well, as seamless as it can be. But the problem with that is, unless you sort of drill the glove out, or, you know, say you've got to be committed, if you slightly slice some of this silicone off to make that pop on, and I think the hole in that is slightly bigger anyway than the peg, you might have to put like a bit of silly putty, blue tack, whatever in there to hold it on, or a bit of hot glue. So if you want the whole range of motion, I mean, you haven't got really much articulation in that wrist anyway, but they do hold on with friction, you know, from the rubber, but they don't sit fully on the pegs. Same thing with the feet. If I just tilt that down there, and I'll take it off the stand, you can see that the boots are just being held on with a bit of friction from the sock. If I push it on, it will click, but it's staying on now. It's proving me to be a liar. But they usually pop off. It clicks, and it stayed on. But it was popping off earlier. This one's loose. See, it's staying on as well. Oh, that's popped off. So that's what I'm saying. Unless you're going to trim some of this silicone down, it's not really suitable for this project. But the M33, I believe, has got slimmer calves. It might still be an issue, but I'm gonna buy one of those bodies anyway, because I've got this figure, the Rocky, and let me just tilt the camera back up and I'll just show you the other head sculpt I've got. Managed to pick this one up years ago. This is the battle damage look. It's a recast of a Rocky 3 head. I think the Italian Stallion. And then this one was a recast as well from the Italian Stallion. And it's got the Rocky 4 head upstairs, but it's not a very good likeness. It's alright. But what was I going to say? Yeah, I'll show you a quick little bit of articulation. It can do some really nice poses. I'm going to keep this video short because people's attention spans, not all that. I was surprised the skeleton didn't have more movement back, but I suppose it's It's anatomically correct. Got a bit of a bunch up there in the shoulder, but I think that's pretty realistic looking. You can get all the poses you need. So I thought that would reach back a bit more. It's pretty much a 90-degree lock there, but you've got a lot of articulation in the waist. You've got ab crunch. You can do some really, I need to get back a bit. I mean, look what shapes you can get with it. It's really cool. I'd love to see Phicen Hot Toys join up and do some Rocky figures. I heard Storm Toys were possibly doing the Rockies, but we'll see. Another thing to mention is the neck on this one fits nicely in the head sculpt, but the head isn't actually on the ball joint properly. It's sort of resting half on, half off. I mean, you've still got all the range articulation. You get some nice angles going, but if I push it down fully, it looks a bit you know, don't look too bad, but it's just my personal preference just to bring it up a little bit. So he's got a little bit of a giraffe neck, but Stallone's got a bit of a long neck. So anyway, so that's that. Let me try the Rambo. This might be a nightmare because it's got the hair sculpted here. I might have to soften that first to get it on properly. Let's try it. Don't want to damage the body. No, that's not going on at all. I think the hole is a little bit tight, so a little bit of lube might do some good. Get on there. Oh, that is tight. Woo! That's not bad actually. Skin tone is a little bit, let's say, a little bit off, but that is a nice look. That looks pretty good. Don't need to move that up, I don't think. Yeah, it looks pretty good for a Rambo, so I might bite the bullet and try some weathering powder. The only problem with that is there's no real way to seal it unless I put like a gloss or matte varnish on it, and then that might just ruin the body completely. The paint might not help either, but I mean, with the other Rambo figures, the only thing you can't really do is pull the bow back, get a pose where he's like holding the bow out. Let's get that out of the way. Sort of drawing the bow. This might be a better body for that. I'll have a little play around with it. I say I get paid soon, so I might get the M30 depending on what I can afford. And I say big thanks to Sven for letting me see this. I was really surprised by the weight of it. I mean the old Hot Toys body I thought was quite a heavy body, but this feels like about double the weight. That's the steel skeleton.